Welcome to Unit 1, Population Health and Community Assessment. This first unit is 3 weeks long. As you come into each unit, you can go to the Unit Overview. This will introduce you to some of the basic content within the course. Overview, the outcomes, concepts, specific unit outcomes, student preparation. This is generally where students are the most interested. If you look, there are a few things that take quite a bit of time. In particular, look at the ride you'll take on a public bus. That will take a few hours. That doesn't come up until week 3, but I would recommend starting on that week 1 or 2. So if you look, it'll walk you through all of the expectations for each week. Once you come into the individual weeks, you'll see that each week has assignments as well as a resource page. So for example, week 1 is a discussion that will be done. And in it, you can see it says you'll watch some videos in week 1. Those are found in the resource page, and answer some questions. You can also review the content at Healthy People 2020. Oh, there's a typo that I need to fix. So you can go into that and answer these questions and make sure that you share them. There are not currently points associated with responding to each other in this discussion, but I encourage it just to get to know your classmates a little bit better. When you go into the resources, for example, week 1, you'll see that there's PowerPoints, videos, and a website as well. Week 2, we'll talk more about vulnerable populations and underserved populations. Week 2 is face-to-face for hybrid students, and for those who are online only, you will complete this in the discussion page. I do recommend that for hybrid students, you go in and look at this early as well, as there will be a list of populations you can choose from, and it is a first-come, first-serve basis. So, what you'll be doing is you're selecting a potentially vulnerable population on which you will focus your work for the entire rest of the semester. There's a fairly extensive list here of different potentially vulnerable populations. Everything from foster care families to hoarding, homeless adults, incarcerated minors, a wide variety of populations to choose from. And if you don't see any that particularly stand out to you, or if there's one that you know you would like to focus on that you do not see, you can reach out to your instructor and see if it would be appropriate and if that would meet all the course objectives for the population you've selected. You will be choosing one population. So for example, elderly living alone would be the one population from the bullet points above. It is first come, first serve, so please put your preference on the discussion below, but also make sure that no one else has already claimed that population. You also need to provide a 1 to 2 paragraph explanation about why you've chosen this population, as well as answer some brief questions that you will see listed here. Please make sure statistics that you include are as current as possible, and just go ahead and read through all of that. A lot of the information from this third prompt right here will appear again when you do the Vulnerable Population Health Concerns project that comes up just a little later on in the term. Next we'll go back here and we'll look down at the community assessment. This is week 3. So, and again, week 2 also has resources before I get too far ahead of myself. I am not sure why these are doubled up, but the internet's a beautiful thing. Technology is wonderful. It is the same video for either link here. I do recommend that you go in and watch these. Many of them are very short, but they can give you a good overview of what population health really looks like and some of the components of it. Now, in the community assessment down in week 3, this is where you're going to do the get on the bus assignment. This is not a metaphor. You will physically get onto an actual bus. I recommend looking ahead of time, finding a route that you're familiar with, or that goes through your community or a community near you where you could refer people if they needed more services. You can go in groups of 2 to 3 students, but you do need to make sure that if you're in groups that you're not just talking to each other on the bus, but that you're really engaging with everyone in the activity. You'll see there's a community assessment get on the bus template. When you pull that up, is a large grid, and it has information you'll fill as you go along. Everything from what kind of businesses do you see, are there torn down buildings, that type of thing. As you go in, there's also a key informant interview section that you'll see in this same document, as well as a conclusion and a reflection section. So please make sure that all of those are done and submitted by the end of week 3.